one of the special features of the UNDV 2014 held in Vietnam this year, which is highly appreciated by the ICDV, is the warm welcome and keen participation of Buddhist monks and followers nationwide. During the course of the event, which took place at Bai Ding Pagoda, Ninh Bình Province, countless other holy events were also held to celebrate the festival. At Bai Ding Pagoda, located in Ninh Bình Province, Vietnam, thousands of Buddhist monks and followers took part in various cultural and spiritual rituals and activities. Through well-prepared and dazzling religious cultural events, the international friendships and mutual understanding has been promoted and strengthened. Thousands of local and international Buddhist nuns, monks, and followers attended a photo exhibition, which was held on the opening night as a part of a series of other culture during the festival. The exhibition of panorama photos themed Vietnam's Buddhism helped the viewer have a deeper understanding of many Vietnamese pagodas with unique and beautiful architecture designs. Besides, the viewers attending the exhibition also had a chance to contemplate the Buddhist-themed works of Vietnamese contemporary artists, which vividly reflect the spiritual life of Vietnamese people, as well as the role of Buddhism in their social life. 10 artists from the South brought to the Buddhist-themed photo exhibition many works featuring the values and messages of Buddhism, namely love, peace, tolerance, and mercy. On displays were also the works of 54 Indian artists. On the evening of May 7, 2014, the organizing committee of the UNDV 2014 brought out this special cultural and musical performance at the Quan Chin Temple at Bai Ding Pagoda to welcome and commence the UN Day of Vesak 2014 in Vietnam. Present at the event that night were the many Buddhist monks, followers, distinguished guests, local and international Buddhist representatives. In his opening remark, Most Venerable Thích Nhật Tu, Deputy General Secretary of UNDV 2014, emphasized the meaning and implication of the day of Vesak, which commemorates 3 days, the birth of the Buddha, his attainment of enlightenment, and his passing away. In his words, the presence of the Buddha has brought about happiness, peace, and belief in life for the human race as a whole. During the course of the past 2,500 centuries, Buddhism has stood the test of time, casting happiness, endless tolerance, and forgiveness on the lives of millions of people everywhere it is present. As a result, the celebration of the Day of Vesak is a sacred occasion to revise and promote the good deeds and lessons he has left behind. Impressive, dazzling, breathtaking, and typical of Buddhism are the words to describe the holy night and the cultural performance. Among the performances, the recital
Điềm lành đã đến cho nhân loại từ đây, thật là hạnh phúc cho muôn loài mừng thay, rằng người ngày đản sanh Đức Phật từ bi, ngày bình an đến cùng thế gian.
The apology of the Yellow Religion, which depicted the life of the Buddha and was performed by Giác Hạnh family, Buddhist followers living in District 10, Ho Chi Minh City, really moved the audiences. The performances of other art groups from Thailand, China, Sri Lanka, and Korea made a lasting impression on those present at the event that night due to their unique and culturally rich identity, as well as their common appreciation of the Buddhism's core value, such as tolerance, mercy, and wisdom. On the evening of May the 8th, Tâm Sen, or Lotus Mind, an international musical and cultural event, was held at Baiding Pagoda as part of the Vesak 2014. The night was attended by many Vietnamese and other international artists. This was one of the various cultural and religious activities held during the course of the festival, which attracted the interest and participation of many people. The night was also an opportunity for Vietnamese artists to present to international friends and tourists the best of Vietnam's culture. The dance, poems, and songs celebrating and praising the Buddha who attained the Nirvana 26 centuries ago were once again resonating in many languages and forms, blowing away everyone who was present that night. The geographical distance seemed to have disappeared, and a common thread weaved by the shared belief in the Buddha run through each person, bringing everyone closer to each other. It can be said that the day of Vesak 2014 was a precious opportunity for all nations in the world to get to know more about each other's culture. It is also a good time for international friends to have better understanding of Vietnam as a country and of its people as well as culture. The night of art performances did leave an unforgettable impression on international friends, contributing to the great success of the UN Day of Vesak 2014 in Vietnam. On the same evening of May the 8th, the organizing committee inaugurated the Vesak International Film Festival. Many Buddhist masters in the organizing committee, international guests, and Buddhist followers attended the inauguration. This is the first time the UN Day of Vesak in Vietnam has succeeded in materializing the Buddhist message of mercy, peace, and equality in cinematic form. The Vesak International Film Festival had the participation of more than 47 countries and territories. The majority of the works revolved around the theme of the Buddha's life and his timeless teaching. The judges awards the winning prize to 5 categories of film, including feature films, documentaries, short films, animated films, and TV series. Sri Siddhartha Gautama in Sri Lanka, directed by Navin Gumiratne, was judged the best film in the category of feature films.
සියලු ලෝක සත්‍යා වෙනුවෙන් ජීවිතයේ මායාව හා ව්‍යාධි ජරා මරණේ ඇති නියත බව අතරමැදි වූ මානව හිතවාදී රාජකුමාරයෙකුගේ සත්‍ය ගවේෂණය.
We are very happy that we came to Vietnam. This is the first country we are taking our movie overseas, and we are very happy that the people of Vietnam love this movie. They love this movie, and we like all of Vietnam, all the people of Vietnam to see this movie, and we hope to be here many more times with the movie, with our main star Gagan, taking it from one corner of Vietnam to the northern end of Vietnam.
This is my third time that I have come to Vietnam, and I really love Vietnam. I have learned 3 words even, Toi Yêu Vietnam. We are very excited to see this UN Day of Vesak. I think it will play a very important role in the coming time, because we are calling all the countries. Most Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh is calling all the countries, and they all will be together and watch. The film festival is there, cultural programs are there. So it's the best way to bring unity in the world. World is going through hell. We all know that. But I think the compassionate message of Lord Buddha will go everywhere in the world through this UN Day of Vesak. And we are really honored to be here, and I think we are lucky that we got a chance of a movie, Sri Siddhartha Gautama, to be one of the nominees in the Buddhist Film Festival.
The Best TV Series was awarded to The Path of Enlightenment by Vietnam, whose director is Công Hoc. The Best Documentary Award was given to A Rising Light of the Indian director David Blundell. The Best Animated Film Award went to Monkey Hunter in South Korea, directed by Taeyok Yeol. The Best Short Film Award went to The Void, Japan, by director Seitogi Hiroyama. The Best Animated Film Award went to The Monkey Hunter, South Korea, directed by Tae-yokyo. Besides the winning awards, the organizing committee also bestowed other encouragement awards on promising directors, actors, and actresses who has shown passions and commitment to Buddhist-themed films. Ninh, the place where UN Day of Vesak 2014 in Vietnam was hosted, used to be the Hoa Lu ancient capital, an important and sacred place in Vietnam's history and in the development of Buddhism. In order to help international friends as well as visitors have a better understanding of this ancient capital, the organizing committee took the delegates to the Vesak 2014 on a sightseeing tour around Chang'an Ecotourism Site, which is part of the Chang'an Baiding Tourist Complex. At Chang'an, international visitors and delegates were boating along the picturesque river with towering limestone grottoes and bushy forests hanging overhead. The ecotourism site is famous for spectacular and breathtaking grottoes, which contain many precious archaeological artifacts, such as Ma Cave, Ga Cave, Cho Cave. Hữu Ngoài Cave, Hữu Trong Cave, especially Chom Cave, is the most well-known of all, since this is a cave where artifacts dating back to 3,000 to 30,000 years ago have been found. Chang'an Ecotourism Site has long been recognized as a special national historical relic. This place used to be the southern citadel of the ancient capital Hoa Lu, characterized by a mighty range of limestone mountains whose age is around 250 million years old. Over millions of years of development, these mountains have been carved into a natural masterpiece, leaving countless numbers of beautiful valleys, grottoes, and lakes. The tour around Chang'an was part of the series of activities meant to be held during Vesak 2014 festival, aiming at introducing international friends to a Vietnam with beautiful nature and friendly people. This program was also part of the support calling campaign to turn Chang'an complex into the World Natural Heritage. It is safe to say that the sightseeing tour was a huge success, winning the heart and the mind of international friends, Buddhist monks, and other visitors. One special event of Vesak 2014 was the Grand Prayer for World Peace and Prosperity on the evening of May the 9th in Sakyamuni Square Baiding Pagoda. The event drew the attendance of many high-profile leaders and monks, as well as international delegates and Buddhist followers. The grand chanting and prayer ceremony was divided into different sections, which started at 4 p.m. and lasted until 9
Thượng
p.m.
tọa Lama
Present
Lobsang,
at the grand
Secretary
chanting
General,
and prayer
Tổng
were
thư ký
drama
Liên đoàn Phật
masters
giáo
Thích
quốc
Thanh
tế,
Đạm,
Hòa
drama
thượng
master Thích
Dhamma
Thanh Nhiễu,
Ratana,
Great
Phó Chủ
Superior
tịch
Patriarch of
ICDV,
Cambodia Thet Vong, Buddhist monk Buma Samapong from Laos, King of Toro Kingdom Lama Lobsang, Secretary General of UNDV and Most Venerable Dharma Ratana. The event was also attended by the members of the party, namely Trần Đại Quang, Politburo Standing Member and Minister of Public Security, Minister of Finance Đinh Tiến Dũng, Minister of Transport Đinh La Thăng, General Secretary of Ninh Bình Provincial Party Committee, and other Buddhist monks, as well as international guests. Besides, about 500 volunteers and 10,000 Buddhist followers also took part in the event. After performing the Buddhist ritual, Most Venerable Thích Thọ Lạc, Deputy Secretary of the UNDV 2014, delivered his opening speech, briefing on the meaning of the Grand Prayer ceremony. The preparation of stage for the praying ceremony vividly represented Buddhist and Vietnamese culture. The platform used in the ritual was set up to 3 levels in accordance with round-shaped heaven worshipping stage, designed in the concept of Buddhist 5-color flag, Dong Sun drum patterns, and other traditional Vietnamese decorations. Included in the stage were court Buddha statues symbolizing 3 historic events of Buddha's existence in this world: the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away. The praying ceremony was performed by Buddhist groups in the north, the central, and the south of Vietnam, including 6 offering dance, Buddhist rituals for happiness and prosperity, wishing for the well-being of the deceased and the living. Towards the end of the event, the organizing committee called for major Buddhist monks and the party's leaders to sign their names into the picture of peace, which was completed by 10 reputable painters from Ho Chi Minh City. The picture was a gift the organizing committee gave to the government of Vietnam as a spiritual dream of eternal peace of Vietnamese people. The UNDV 2014 was concluded on the afternoon of May the 10th by a formal and impressive closing ceremony. The closing ceremony had the attendance of all Buddhist dignitaries and scholars and other key party members like Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc and Ninh Bing's provincial leaders. Prior to the closing ceremony, Most Venerable Dhammaratana, coordinator of the UNDV 2014, presented a closing remark. Representatives from 6 workshops held earlier in the festival summarized the results and recommendations that religious scholars had poured their heart and soul into. In the end, all of these scholars came to an agreement that the Buddha's teachings and values are scientific and sensible solutions to many key social problems, promising a happy, peaceful, and equitable society for everyone. The closing ceremony saw a convergence of minds on major issues that Buddhism can solve to contribute to meeting the requirements of the new millennium. Everyone at the ceremony expressed their wish that this would soon become a reality. Also at the closing ceremony, Most Venerable Thích Đức Nghiệp and Most Venerable Professor Lê Mạnh Thất, representing Vietnam Buddhist University, awarded a master degree of honor to the King of Truro Kingdom, a young king who has made great contributions to his country's peace and prosperity as well as to Africa's. Acknowledging scales of activities within the UN Vesak 2014 celebration, the Guinness Vietnam recognized 6 records, namely largest praying ceremony for world peace and prosperity, largest Buddhist picture created, largest Buddhist art performance, largest candlelit offering to the Buddha, largest Buddhist film festival, biggest parallel sentences to welcome delegates and Buddhists to the UN Vesak 2014 celebration. Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiễu, chairman of the UNDV's 2014, gave a closing speech concluding the festival. He also extended a sincere thanks to the party's leaders, ICGV, Ninh Binh People's Committee, Xuân Trường Group, other entrepreneurs, and philanthropists for their contribution to the success of the festival.
Trên tinh thần đoàn kết hòa hợp trong sự đa dạng và truyền thống Phật giáo và văn hóa vì
The
hòa bình
United
cho
Nations
nhân
Day
loại
of
và
Vesak
sự phát triển bền
2014
vững. Đại lễ đã được đón nhận thông điệp
has
của
come
Đức
to a
Pháp
great
Chủ Giáo
success,
hội Phật giáo Việt Nam,
followed the huge
diễn
success
văn
in
của
the
lãnh đạo
UNDV
Đảng, Nhà nước,
2008.
thông điệp của Tổng thư ký
The workshops we held have produced fruitful
thông điệp của
results,
Giám đốc UNESCO
which promise
ký
to
kết
quickly meet the
cùng
urgent needs of the millennium,
100 thông điệp của các vị nguyên thủ, các vị
be
lãnh
it the
đạo Phật giáo
adoption
thế
of the
giới.
Buddha's teachings
Đại
and
lễ
values
đã
in our
được
lives.
nghe bài phát biểu quan trọng của Thủ tướng Sri Lanka.
We thank the messages from the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon,
Phật giáo có phần thực hiện thành
read
tựu
by
mục
Ms.
tiêu
Pratibha
thiên niên kỷ
Mehta,
của Liên Hợp Quốc
as well as
đã được Tổng
contributions
thư ký
from
Liên Hợp
other
Quốc Ban
international
Ki-moon
leaders.
đặc biệt hoan nghênh. 5 chủ đề nhánh của hội thảo đã tập trung tìm ra nguyên nhân và những mâu thuẫn xung đột, bạo động, sự phá vỡ môi trường.
The UN Millennium Development Goals this year focus on 5 sub-themes related to social, environmental issues, healthy lifestyles, and education, and especially the education of Buddhism.
Và tôn trọng, tuân thủ các công ước luật pháp quốc tế và Liên Hợp Quốc đã được đề ra để tăng tốc và xây dựng chương trình phát triển mới khả thi, những mục tiêu thiên niên kỷ như thông điệp của Liên Hợp Quốc và UNESCO đã đánh giá. Đại lễ đã đồng thuận.
We have also agreed on the general agreements of Ninh Binh, which focused on the attainment of the UN Millennium Development Goals.
Thay mặt Ban tổ chức Vesak Liên Hợp Quốc 2014 tại Việt Nam, tôi xin long trọng tuyên bố Đại lễ Vesak Liên Hợp Quốc 2014 đã thành công rực rỡ.
In his remark, most venerable Dharmaratana, vice chairman of ICDV, said that thanks to the wholehearted support of Vietnam's government, UNDV 2014 has come to a successful conclusion. The presence of the party and the government in this event is a telling example proving the interdependence of Vietnam's Buddhism and the country's cultural identity. Through UNDV 2014, the delegates have come to agree that the Buddhist followers worldwide are currently becoming increasingly aware of upholding and spreading the teachings of the Buddha, giving a hand to the fight against racial discrimination.
I am very happy to inform you that we have successfully completed the United Nations Day of Vesak in 2014 in this very beautiful historical country. I have been requested by the most venerable Dr. Brahma Pandit, the President of the International Council of the United Nations Day of Vesak, to express our deep gratitude to the government of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam for its great support in hosting this historical event. Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, I am obliged to ask you to pass our deep appreciation to the Honorable President of the government of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, and to your colleague in the Parliament and different ministries and departments of their great cooperation and support which have been extended to us to achieve this extraordinary celebration.
Nguyễn Xuân Phúc, Politburo Standing Member, Deputy Prime Minister cum representative of the party and government of Vietnam, thanked the UN delegates, Buddhist leaders, and all of the followers for their contribution to the success of the UNDV 2014. He also expressed the wish of seeing closer cooperation between Vietnam and other countries for world peace and development. The UNDV 2014 has come to a successful conclusion, raising the flag of humanity in Vietnam. Thousands of Vietnam's Buddhist monks and followers nationwide were also celebrating the festival, which was held at Bai Dinh Pagoda in Ninh Bình Province. The UNDV has long been an important cultural and religious event of the world, and I believe that this day can become even more important in the future. Vietnam's government places an importance on the Vesak festival and would like to congratulate UNDV 2014 on its success. I hope that those proposals come up at the workshop held during the festival will soon be implemented. It can be said that through this festival, we all have found more motivation to carry on with the good work we have been doing. Contributing more to the well-being of the country and of the world, given poverty is still rampant. In many parts of the world, and war is always ready to break out.
Trong những ngày vừa qua,
We need to try harder to realize the Millennium Goals. That the UN has rolled out. Once again, I would like to congratulate the huge success of UNDV 2014 in Vietnam.
Xây dựng xã hội công bằng, dân chủ, văn minh ở mỗi quốc gia và trên toàn thế giới.
Most Venerable Thích Đức Thiện, General Secretary of the UNDV 2014 Organizing Committee, presented a summary of the UNDV 2014. He emphasized that the festival focused on the main theme, Buddhism and its role in meeting the UN's Millennium Goals. Through collective efforts, fruitful workshops has been successfully conducted and detailed results have been reached.
Với chủ đề chính
The main theme of the UNDV 2014 is Buddhist perspective towards achieving the UN Millennium Development Goals. Besides, there are 5 other sub-themes related to social, environmental issues, healthy lifestyle, and education, and especially education of Buddhism. One of the most important themes of the festival this year is the world peace and how to resolve conflicts in a peaceful way. All of these themes are approached from the perspective of Buddhist teachings, so that the underlying cause and proper solutions can be found. These themes are also highly appreciated by the UN Secretary Ban Ki-moon in his congratulatory letter sent to the festival on its opening day. This vividly shows how close Buddhism is tied to the social life of mankind.
Tính thực tiễn của giáo lý Phật giáo trong đời sống xã hội.
At the closing ceremony, the summary report was presented, and delegates agreed on the UN Vesak 2014 Declaration. Our Ningbing Declaration highlighted profound values of Buddhist compassion and wisdom in current world context, emphasized the desire to apply Buddha's teachings as guidance for the overall well-being, development of humane society, for solving and current global issues, contributing to achieve 8 UN Millennium Development Goals and beyond. There are 5 sub-themes related to social, environmental issues, healthy lifestyle and education, post-conflict recovery, sustainable development and social change, and university curriculum. During the closing ceremony of UNDV 2014, we'd like to publish the Ningbing Agreements, which Article 1 states, to resolve that in keeping with the worldview common to all Buddhists, it is an obligation held individually and collectively to work tirelessly for the attainment of the UN Millennium Development Goals and dedicate our lives to social engagement for their attainment as a component of our practice and convictions, to motivate by sending the strongest message to the international community to strengthen all efforts to implement the UN Millennium Development Goals through a collective commitment by all stakeholders. And 3, to utilize the Buddha's teachings as spiritual guidance for the overall well-being, development and progress of all sentient beings, and for the full implementation of the UN Millennium Development Goals. The Ningbing Vesak 2014 Declaration also agreed on a term to use Buddhist teachings to achieve a peaceful world in which every country respects the territorial sovereignty of others.
Điều 3.
Article 3, Peace Building and Post-Conflict Recovery states, to promote peaceful settlement of conflicts, respect for life, ending of violence and practice of loving kindness, non-violence through dialogue and cooperation, to urge political leaders to settle the disputes related to sovereignty, territorial integrity, and jurisdiction rights of exclusive economic zone and continental shelf through negotiations and other peaceful measures in conformity with international laws, including the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, 1982, for the sake of maintaining world peace and stability. To encourage Buddhists to be more proactive in promoting peace, which is central to the teachings of Buddhas, and in particular, spreading the Buddhist wisdom on the interconnectedness of all humans as a global family and the shared consequences of their actions. To value peace both intrinsically and extrinsically by engaging Buddhist believers around the world to address the contemporary issues of war, violence, intolerance, and terrorism, which threatens the peace and stability of all society. To motivate and hold nations morally responsible for achieving peaceful ideas, understanding universal values, virtues, rights, and responsibilities, and particularly the Buddhist culture of nonviolence, compassion, and tolerance. To call for a universal peace education project, which will become the new paradigm for peace governments. To affirm the common desire and fundamental human right of all people to live in peace with one another, and reaffirming that the principal aim of the United Nations is the maintenance of international peace and security. The organizing committee held a warm gift-giving ceremony for all the guests and party leaders to tighten the friendship and cooperation among countries. The closing ceremony ended with an art performance called Huyền nhiệm Bát nhã, which vividly characterized Vietnam's Buddhist culture. The last night of the festival was celebrated in a solemn manner at Bai Ding Temple, Ninh Bình Province, to congratulate the success of the UNDV 2014 hosted by Vietnam. Thousands of both locals and international Buddhist nuns, monks, leaders, and followers lit candles to pray for the world's peace at the main square in Bai Ding Temple. After the spiritual services, 5,000 candles were lit, turning the square into a holy and fairy place. Everyone at the service chanted and offered prayers to the Buddha and his followers to support the nation's endeavors towards meeting the UN's Millennium Goals. They also promised to join in with Buddhist communities to promote and integrate the teachings of the Buddha into their cause of developing the society, economy, and protecting the world's peace. The UNDV 2014 in Vietnam has officially come to an end, but its success and effects are still echoing. The festival has left a positive impression on Vietnamese Buddhist communities and international friends.